Good day, this is Dr. Nick coming to you from the future of leadership. And today I would like to discuss a very critical issue for the new year. In fact, probably the most important issue in your life when you feel that you are held back, that you are stuck. And that is how to get out of your comfort zone and how to reinvent yourself. Now, due to the changes in technology, you have to reinvent yourself at least once a year. And recently one of my students said that I am the one that he knows reinvents continuously over the past 15 years. So I've got a pretty good experience on that. So the case is very clear. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Now is a perfect time as we go into the festive season, as we look forward into the new year. But the big question is, how do you do that? Because everybody is telling you that you have to make a decision. You have to make a rational decision. It will take discipline. It will take willpower. And in my experience, that is not working at all. In my experience, getting out of your comfort zone requires a very emotional response. And it requires you to replace the vehicles that satisfy your motivators, the drivers of motivational intelligence, and not just discipline. Discipline, in fact, and values alone do not work on their own. So today I want to share 3 insights. First, why do we always drop into a comfort zone? Why is it we always end up in this comfort zone in our life so many times over and over again? Secondly, why is it so hard to get out of your comfort zone? And thirdly, how can you identify your comfort zone before it's too late? Now recently I found myself in a deep comfort zone in a relationship that, to be honest, was a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful relationship, but at the time was not serving us, me and her anymore, and the ground was shifting below our feet, yet it was still comfortable. There were still elements of comfort, and that's why I was holding on to it until it was almost too late. So let's start with the first one. Why is it that we keep dropping into this comfort zone? And the simple answer for that is that we have certain emotional needs in life. We have a need for assurance. We have a need for connection. We have a need to feel significant. We have a need for challenge. We have a need to grow. We have a need to contribute. And we have a need for higher association. Many times these needs overpower us, and that's when we find just one vehicle, and that could be a relationship, it could be a job, just one vehicle that we place all our needs, empathize all our needs onto this one vehicle. Now, why is it so hard to get out of your comfort zone? The simple answer to that is one word, and that is the conditioning and the evolution of the human condition called homeostasis, a Greek word that means staying the same. Our bodies have been conditioned, and our minds, to stay the same because of our evolution. The evolution of the human being required for a long time that when you find the equilibrium, when you find just the right balance to survive, to nourish your body, and to ensure or assure your survival, your body and your mind enters a state of homeostasis. It wants to keep the same. Now that's why, for example, after the war in Germany, where I was born, people used to eat a lot. They used to overeat, and obviously a lot of people ended up obese because they had the experience, their bodies had the experience that once there is food, amongst such a shortage, you have to eat as much as you can to survive. And that informed the mindset. And to this day, homeostasis is one big driver that explains why we get stuck in a comfort zone. Now think about it in a relationship. A relationship gives you assurance, it gives you certainty, it gives you connection, it hopefully gives you significance, it makes you feel more valuable. It might give you challenge, and it helps you to grow, it helps you to contribute to your partner. Now, if these motivational needs are in place, it's very hard to get out of there without feeling a severe loss in your life. In fact, the loss can be so severe that you hang in there for dear life because you don't have a replacement. You need to replace this vehicle, this relationship, with somebody that can replace, literally activate, reactivate those 7 emotivators. And for a job, for example, in a job you definitely have the assurance of a salary at the end of the month. You probably have connection at the workplace. You have an element of significance. You are contributing, you are growing. You probably have a lot of challenge. Now, when you leave that job and you go into your own business as an entrepreneur, a lot of these emotivators tend to be lacking. For example, you don't have an assurance of a monthly salary anymore. You do not have connection anymore. Entrepreneurs can be very lonely. You don't feel significant anymore. You don't know exactly how to contribute. You don't know how to grow. And that's why sometimes we cling on to this comfort zone so much, because we don't know how to move forward and how to reactivate those emotivators that are so important in our lives. And then thirdly, how can you identify the comfort zone, your comfort zone, before it's too late? That's where these 7 emotivators come in. You have to continually assess your fulfillment within the 7 emotivators before it's too late. Now, when I say it's too late, for example, you might be focusing very strongly. And remember, we all have a primary and a secondary emotivator. So my primary motivator is growth. I love learning. I love teaching. My secondary motivator for a long time has been higher assurance. I have a very strong purpose. I have a sense of meaning. I love to really get involved in a cause. But for a long time, I've been neglecting connection. And that has caught up to a degree where I shifted my career. I got into this comfort zone of learning and higher association, and I neglected to activate and fulfill my emotivators for connection, for assurance, and for significance. And that's when I took a deliberate decision to shift my career, in fact to pivot, what they call in innovation, to pivot my career to a position where I have more connection, where I have more significance, and where I have more assurance. So this is absolutely key. In fact, this is the reason why we call certain food comfort food. So why do some people keep stuffing themselves with comfort food? Because that gives us a sense of assurance. Once the comfort food hits our stomach, we feel we are better equipped to survive. And remember that feeling, and we tend to go back to the comfort food. Same with the comfort life. Why do we tend to live in a comfort zone in our lives? Why don't we go to the gym? We know it's good for us, but because we haven't identified how to activate these emotivators when going to gym. So for example, how can you activate growth at the gym? How can you have a growth plan that you say, okay, I want to go from waist size 36 to 34 in 30 days. How can you connect better? How can you, for example, have a gym buddy? How can you have more significance at the gym? And how can you, for example, look at how you can become a more attractive person by going to the gym? And so this is how you have to assess your life, how you assess your comfort zone, how you consciously reactivate the 7 emotivators. So I urge you to go back to the chapter on motivational intelligence, to go back to your self-assessment on the 7 emotivators, to really understand which is your primary and which is your secondary emotivator. And then make sure that the gaps in your motivators are satisfied, are met before it gets too late. So please take a moment to digest the lesson on how to get out of your comfort zone, how to reinvent your life, and remember, lift your heart, love your soul, and levitate your mind to have a better life and to have a better career in 2018.